Welcome back to another video, Globalisation, Protectionism and Trading Blocks. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're interested in tutoring, let me know in the comments. So protectionism boosts an economy, and it's about protecting an economy and domestic produce. Many different ways of doing this. First, tariffs and quotas. Tariffs, taxes paid on products that are imported. Quotas basically limit the amount you can import of a particular product. This discourages international trade and promotes people buying from local businesses. However, it does restrict consumer choice. Then you have government legislation, pretty straightforward. Laws that the government put in place, such as restriction international trade. However, this may not be a positive sometimes, as it could restrict a country's development, as they cannot export goods to other countries or import certain goods and have cheaper produce. Then you've got domestic subsidies. So this is sums of money given to businesses, maybe startups by the government to promote domestic trade. It helps reduce costs, and then those prices could be cheaper for the people to buy. However, subsidies cost the government money, and usually the money that is raised is from increasing taxes on the general population, and people getting taxed more then have lower disposable income. So a nice fair balance usually needs to be done. Now, trading blocks encourage trade between different countries, and the formal definition, which will get you 1 mark in exam, is associations between governments to promote and manage trade for a particular region. Now, there's a few different examples, such as the NAFTA, and of course the biggest one, EU, the European Union. And pretty much what they do, no borders, so business can freely trade, and there's usually the same regulations for businesses, products, also same currencies, stuff like that. And finally, the pros and cons of a trading bloc. Pros: remove trade barriers, so cheaper suppliers can be accessed, and cheaper labour and stuff like that, so increase the profits for business. Less regulations, so easier to do businesses, and you can sell to a large market. Before, when a country was not within a trading bloc, maybe it didn't have the opportunity to sell to many other countries, whatever their services are. However, there are of course cons. If a country is part of a bloc, imports from outside the bloc may be expensive. Small firms as well may be forced out of competition by larger firms that are already dominant within that bloc. And lastly, a good point about a negative being a business may need to adjust some of its operations to comply with the laws and rules, which can be expensive, time consuming, wasting resources. Sort of ties into a point 1 about a con. Maybe before the country entered a trading bloc, a business within that country used to import goods from another country outside the bloc. Now they'll have to change up that. Hopefully this is helpful. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and all of that stuff.